Hey folks, hope you're doing good today. And I hope you checked out the video yesterday because it was a new one for the channel, Math Rock. Very, very nice. I'm getting into that kind of music. It's not very heavy, but it's super impressive guitaring and composition, one-man bands, you know I love all that stuff. Yeah, we're going to see some more of that stuff. But we're back on the heavy today. I've got some modern death metal for you today. It's not like the Black and Death that we had earlier in the week, although some of it sounds pretty brutal. But this is the modern stuff, modern guitar tones, modern production, all that good stuff. So we're going to check it out. 3 bands for you. The first one is called The Wind Covenant. This is a track called Damnation. It's got Lee McKinney from Born of Osiris in it. Let's check it out. Get it up loud. That's what I'm saying. Modern guitar tones, balmy. Great sounding drums. Nice clear mix. Synths and stuff. Heavy vocal. Nice double layering on it. Sick drumming. Yeah. Super wide sound. You can see that on the stereo spectrum. Nice balanced waveform. Big low end. It's got a decent mids as well, this music, you can see. Dope. That's why the guitars come so clearly through the mix. Pretty progressive, modern. That's what I'm saying, this is new school death. Heavy as hell, but bringing in other elements as well, such as atmosphere, synths, these kind of metalcore type of choruses, big anthemic choruses. Cool. Good video on this one as well, high quality video. They've all got a bunch of sick instruments. Everything looks cool. Dope vocal. All the modern mixing techniques and stuff in there sounds dope. That guitar's got a nice bowl. Yeah. They're swinging them expensive instruments about. I hope the strap doesn't break. Yeah. Big chorus. Wide sound, I mean, just look at the stereo spectrum, it's full. Big, wide sound, everything's panned out nicely. Got the synths in there for extra atmosphere. Double layered vocals which sound nice and thick. Dope. Great mix, high quality professional mix. Everything's got its place, everything's nice and clear. It's loud, it's wide. Ticked all the boxes. Great guitar tones, drums sound great. Sick ghost notes and stuff, it's sick drumming. Dope. Sick. These guys are pretty techy. Yeah, they got some nice instruments. Great video. Super tight guitar tone. Oh. like the way he rolls the toms down there. And the breakdown, they're almost like ghost notes on the toms as well. Sounds sick. Sick. I enjoyed that a lot. Everything was nice about that. Very nice mix. Everything sounded great in the mix. High quality, modern sounding, clear but loud. Everything had its place. Super heavy music, but also breaking it down into more atmospheric parts with the synths and stuff in there. So they moved it about. But when they brought it back to the heavy, it was crushing, pounding music. Heading for brutal, but not quite brutal because they edged it back with the kind of more softer side. If you're going to be brutal, it's got to be brutal, you know, but some of the parts were definitely pretty brutal. Great video as well. I really enjoyed the video. I love seeing all their instruments because they had some really, really nice instruments as well. Those guitars were sick. Let's move on to the next band. This band is called Steps of Odessa. And they've got a track for us called Obsidian Skies. So let's check it out. More synths. That came in nice and big. You can see it's a nice wide sound. Everything's blazing in the waveform. Big washy cymbals in the high end. Getting that modern guitar tone, tight, got a bound to it. Thick. Let me change this thing. Can we return to the past? Drums sound great. Chunky guitar. These guys have got a hardcoreness to them as well. Those drums are blasting nicely, man. They sound sick. Yeah. Nice vocal as well, moving it about in his throat. Big sound. And we've got the synth in there as well. Yeah, everything's blazing. Heavy. Nice drumming. There we go. Bit more of a metalcore, big chorus. Double layered vocals to make it nice and wide and thick. Big sound these guys have got. You can see their stereo spectrum's big and wide. Everything's blazing in the waveform. Drums sound sick. It's just got a great energy to it. Instantly into the mosh, into the head nodding. Makes you want to move your body. The changes just feel right. Just fall into them. Yeah. Great energy to this one. Just loving nodding along to it. It's pushing my body. You know, I couldn't just sit there like this right now. Gotta be moving about with the energy of the music. Sounds great. Makes your body move. Vocals super heavy. It's a pretty clean vocal. He's not got a load of distortion and effects on it. Just a lot of natural distortion in his throat. Really pushing his throat. Sick drumming. Whole bunch of styles in this track. We had deathy bits, we had hardcore bits, we had beat down bits, we had progressive. Everything sounds very modern. It's got a big sound to it, it's nice and wide, it's nice and deep. Got loads of layers to it, especially with the synths. Loving it. Heavy vocal. Recorded nicely as well. I like this airy synth. Yeah, that sounds great. Again, nice mix all round. Everything sat well in the mix. You could hear all the elements of the music. It was well recorded. Cool video again. Loving it. Yeah, I really like this synth pad sound. That's a good one. It's nice and airy, it's whistly, it's atmospheric. I'd be happy to use that in my music. Very, very cool. I enjoyed that one a lot. Super nice. What was the name of the band? Steps of Odessa. Instant fan of this band and the first band. Very, very nice. They brought in a lot of different edges to that. As I say, it wasn't really just death, it was death, hardcore, beat down hardcore, atmospheric stuff. Brought in the synth edge, which was really quite electronic synth as well. We had the airy kind of atmosphere stuff at the end there, but there was some real electronic synths in there. And I've spoke about it many times. Electronic synths and guitar and distorted and real drum music is sometimes a bit like oil and water to try and mix together. It's difficult. Sometimes it just makes the music sound like it's electronic, cheesy kind of metal. I think these guys skirted the line of that with the electronic synths that they used in it, but they were the right side of the line at the end of the day. It fitted in with the guitars and the heaviness of the music. It added an extra dimension to the track that wouldn't have been there without the synths, and it gave it that electronic vibe, but it wasn't too electronic to where it didn't sit well in the mix, you know. I've tried mixing that kind of electronic house synth and all of that type of stuff because there's some cool bass sounds and stuff you can do with all that fuzzed out bass. But what you often find is it just doesn't sit well with guitars. It doesn't kind of mesh in with the rest of the music. But this did, so fair play to them. It's a difficult. It's either right or it's wrong, and they got it right. And they could have easily got it wrong. That was my point. It's easy to get that stuff wrong and it just doesn't fit the mix. But that one did. Really, really enjoyed that track. Great. Excuse me. Now, this is the last band for today. Negative Core Project. The track is called Bleak Men. So, yeah, we're going to check it out. Let's hear it. Heavy. Nice washy cymbal. I think this one might be a bit quieter than the rest. Oh no, it's looking okay. I can just turn it up a little bit. Sorry about that. I'd like to get everyone to be a decent volume on the stream. Whenever there's a quiet vid, you never get a good representation of the music, so let's hear it. This one's nice and drawn out, heavy. It's got a trudge to it. Big washy cymbals just kind of trudging along. Nice ghost notes as well on the snare. Adds to that trudge, you know, it's kind of tripping along, trudge. Working the vocal. Here comes the death. Pretty black as well in the guitar in. Pretty dark overall, the whole tone. That's why it sounds a bit quieter, because it's darker, it's more buried. Not as clear as the other bands as we've had with their super modern punching out the mixes. It just sounds loud at any volume. This one's a bit darker, it's a bit blackened. No. It's still got that modern guitar tone to it though. It's got the bong 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 bong. You got the tremolo riffs as well. So yeah, very blackened. I'm enjoying this. It's kind of like modern blackened death with a trudge to it. Those cymbals are so washy, it's just got a constant wash from the cymbal. You know, he's not really hitting it that fast, it's just... Hear the bass in the mix. Got a nice atmosphere to it as well in the guitaring, doing that reverb arpeggio stuff. Again, it's kind of blackened. Cool vocals. So yeah, this one's interesting. It's modern. There's modern guitar tones in there. There's modern drumming. But the mix, the sound, because it's dark, because it's blackened, it's kind of a weird mix of modern and kind of a bit of a vintage sound to it as well. Vintage modern, if that makes any sense at all. A bit of a contradiction in terms, but that's what it is. It's definitely a modern side to it, but it definitely got that old school. Well, it's not old school, it's just a vintage kind of sound. That blackened sound, that dark sound, that kind of buried in the mix of it sound. Almost kind of like it's on tape sound. That's what sounds vintage about it. But the riffage, the guitar tone, the drumming, that's all got a modern edge to it. It's a very, very nice mix up there. It's got an atmosphere to it. It's got a trudge to it. That kind of drawn out, walking through thick mud kind of, life's tough kind of trudge to it, which I love. That's dope. I guess that's the end of the vid. Yeah, it's the end of the vid. Well, I'm going to remember this time to do it right when I should do it, and that's click the superb stamp, because all these three bands are absolutely dope. I went in, you know, thinking modern death. We got far more than that. We got modern death, but we got some hardcore, we got some beatdown, we got some black, we got some synths, we got some kind of electronic synths. That's pretty unusual, really. So yeah, I'm still going to call the video modern death. But once people have watched the video, they're going to get a whole bunch of flavors in this one, other than just those two genres. But I think that will pretty much cover the kind of generic genre of which all of these bands slot into. But they're definitely bringing in their own elements, bringing in their own flavors, making it their own sound, mixing up elements that don't normally get seen together, like the electronic synths and very heavy music, like the modern guitar tone, but still with a vintage sound. Those are two pretty juxtaposition things within this kind of music, and these bands together have brought them together, meshed them together, even though, as I say, sometimes they're a bit like, you know, trying to mix oil and water. It just doesn't happen half the time, but these guys have done it. They've walked the line, and it's a very fine line. So good job. Very, very nice. I enjoyed all three bands today. Instant fan. If you watch the vids, guys, keep sending in your new videos and music videos so we can keep up with the bands, because, yeah, really, really enjoyed it. So I hope the viewers did as well. Like and subscribe and all that garbage. I'll see you tomorrow for punk. Last day of the week. I think I'm going to do punk every Sunday, so we got some punk. See you for some punk tomorrow, guys. Oi, oi. Bye.